All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, 𝗪𝗏𝗍𝗫, and as always, we're going to be diving into the markets, as obviously there's a lot of catalysts that are driving us down. Right now, we're under 20,000. I'm going to go over exactly what's driving us down, some of the key indicators that I'm watching in the economy, because I think there's going to be a couple of bubbles that do pop within the economy. After that does happen, I think there's going to be tons of fantastic projects at really low valuations and really low prices. We're also going to talk about some early alpha on a lot of stuff in this edition. Projects that haven't launched yet, projects that have a lot of upcoming catalysts. So I think you're going to enjoy this one from a market perspective, from a crypto gaming token perspective, as well as what's to come in the world of NFT gaming. So like the video if you enjoy the content here on Banter and on In the Game, and subscribe for shows here every single day on the channel. Also, shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. Bybit, one of the leading exchanges across all of crypto, where you can do all of your trading, your shorts and longs, etc. That is over on Bybit down below in the description. NordVPN, always navigate crypto securely. Never disclose your location, your IP address, etc. when you're navigating throughout crypto. Use a VPN, NordVPN down below. And Sidus Heroes, the leading AAA experience across the intergalactic space in crypto gaming. And I think if you check out their Zena mobile app, if you check out their browser experience, they're building a game for everyone, which I really enjoy. Sidus Heroes down in the description. Now, let's dive into it. Hovering around 20,000 right now with Bitcoin. And obviously, Ethereum, I think, is the one that everyone is watching. I'm personally keeping my eyes on Ethereum because we saw clearly that the New York Attorney General, first of all, sues KuCoin, which is going to cause a potential miniature black swan event if this does sort of, continue to play out and we continue to see news from this. But on top of that, they say that Ethereum is a security. Now, if we see Ethereum get anywhere close to 1,000 or down below 1,000 like we did in this last summer's bear market, then I'm going to be absolutely accumulating at that point in time. But I think we have a little bit of a slow grind down. I think we've seen that massive drop, but I do think we are going to see much lower in this market. Silicon Valley Bank today being shut down by regulators. And then on top of that, we're seeing the signature bank stock sink 10% as Silvergate prepares to shut down. So there's a lot of negative press, a lot of negative news, and a lot of stuff that is starting to pop in the banking world, in the just across economics in this world. And I think there's a couple more bubbles that need to pop. The debt in America is absolutely crazy at this moment in time. The amount of debt in America, I don't think, has ever been this high as far as credit card debts and stuff like that. And then when you look at the real estate market, I do think, all the people in the real estate market are saying, oh, it's fine. But I do think the real estate market is going to take a hit. The S&P is going to take a hit. And I think at that point in time, you're going to see crypto open up and tons of good long-term opportunities. And let's kind of see the sentiment across the space right now, because one of the key things too is just survival. Survive. Just stay. Don't leave the space. Don't go away during this time period. This is the time when the sharks come into the industry and they're going to start accumulating massively whenever there are these massive dips and these massive black swans. When people think the industry's over, that's when the smartest people are investing. So let's kind of look at some sentiment across the space. I've now worked in, this is Fwiz. He's the CEO over at Polygon Labs, or president at Polygon Labs. And as he says here, I've worked in full-time crypto for 14 months, and he came from YouTube gaming. YouTube gaming is so established, and the things that he did for YouTube gaming were tremendous. But a blockchain-based internet is critical to our future, and our community's resilience to adversity is well documented. Keep your head up and never stop building. And then we have Becker, on the other hand, saying, gentlemen, people have invested $5.4 billion of their real money into Shiba Inu. The pain hasn't even started yet. And I'm with him. I do think we're going to see a lot lower prices. And what are the tokens that we're looking at during these time periods that are pushing massive developments? So we're going to talk about tokens that are existing now, but we're also going to talk about some projects that are around the corner at the end of the show that I'm really looking forward to and that have some massive catalysts during these time periods. And if they launch or come out with their projects, their games, etc., at the right times, I think that you really could have good entry positions on those as well at that time. So number one, obviously, I'm looking at Ethereum. With it being deemed security, all this news, is this about to be another XRP situation? Are we about to see a year and year, worth of legal cases play out, and the KuCoin thing? A lot of this stuff could be just cascading and ongoing news. So I'm watching Ethereum very closely for around or under $1,000. Much lower prices, says Pulse Bezos. And DC says, when I think of quality games, I think YouTube gaming. Well, I think that when the streamers that you look that he brought over, that's where you need to see the strength of YouTube gaming. That's where Ryan Wyatt's strength was with YouTube gaming. And that's where we get to Polygon. So Polygon dropped under $1 yesterday. And actually, they're still pushing massive developments. There's a little bit of FUD out there regarding this tweet got deleted. So this tweet got deleted, but we are actually, I was looking at this tweet earlier, and it's the Final Fantasy developers, Square Enix, coming in and building Web3 games on the platform, on Polygon. And you have the biggest brands in the world that are not going anywhere. They are utilizing the technology, which isn't going anywhere, of Polygon, right? The Polygon blockchain is not going anywhere, in my opinion. And I think with the business partnerships they have, it is solidified that if this continues to dip, if we see an 80 cent, 60 cent, which I think is realistic, guys, with the volatility and the massive run up that we saw from Polygon, I think that 80 cents, 60 cents is realistic on Polygon, if I have to be honest. And yeah, that sucks. Tweet got deleted before we could show it to you. Wish I could have screenshotted it, I guess. But one I'm also really paying close attention to, and it's in the crypto gaming niche. It's in the L1 niche. It's in the everything you could imagine that Avalanche is building. They have it. Avalanche Labs with the Shrapnel, Ascenders, Domi Online, Loco Legends now with 50 million users on their esports platform. And then when you look at talking about esports, well, let this load. We're talking about esports. We're talking about one of the biggest brands in the entire world of esports, TSM, building a subnet on Avalanche. This is game changing, and the adoption is inevitable here. If you have a blindfold on, if you are trying to just FUD the industry, if you are just, as Dr. Disrespect says, an idiot, I think that, blockchain gaming is unfolding right in front of your eyes, and Avalanche has a really good grasp on that. And I'm under $15. I'm definitely getting very bullish on Avalanche long term. And I think that if we hit $13, $12, I'm really looking at Avalanche for heavy accumulation. And let's play off of another narrative. Let's play off of the narrative that Unity last week got involved with 13 Web3 projects, including Immutable, including MetaMask, including Solana, Aptos, etc. So what are some projects that I'm looking at underneath that announcement in this, little dip? And it's not really a little dip right now for Immutable. Immutable is taking quite a hit at this time period. And this is one I'm really eyeing at this point. If we get 70, 60, 50 cents during these time periods on Immutable X again, I will definitely be getting a long-term position on IMX, given all the games coming to the platform, Ember Sword, Undead Blocks, Illuvium, you could go on and on with their game catalog, but I am really looking at Immutable as it is very volatile on the way down. One that I don't talk about too much, but that partnered up with Unity, is Aptos. And Aptos, I think, will have another run in the eventual next cycle's bull run. That little rally we just had in Aptos' narrative, I think there will be a round two for that. And especially with Unity tapping in with Aptos Labs, we're definitely going to see a lot more integration with Aptos. I'm watching Aptos under $9, around $8, $9. That's definitely one I am looking at for some accumulation, as well as Altura. Altura is my number one low cap token at this moment in time. And if this continues to dip, and if the valuation on 𝗪𝗪𝗽, which right now the fully diluted is $20 million. They're going to be integrated with an SDK for smart NFTs inside of video games to be able to level up those assets for developers without them having to know how to code, without having to do the smart contracts. It's inevitable that 𝗪𝗪𝗽 is going to blow up in the next bull run. So I am watching for the best accumulation prices on 𝗪𝗪𝗽. And then the biggest narrative within crypto gaming that I'm looking at is the Arbitrum narrative, because any given day, Arbitrum can come out and say, Arbitrum airdrop's coming. And what's going to pop? All the Arbitrum ecosystem tokens. And this is going to be one of the biggest narrative plays in that ecosystem. And Martin, great point. There you go. Aptos has a 4.5 million token unlock tomorrow. We're waiting to get the best of these times. You know, we have these lower targets for a reason. So very good alpha there from Martin in the chat. But when we're looking at other tokens, I think the Arbitrum gaming narrative is going to be massive. And whenever that Arbitrum airdrop comes out, Arbitrum's officially like really fully utilized. Magic Treasure DAO is fully fledged to be the leading platform within that ecosystem. Some quality games coming out recently on their platform, like the RPG Bitmates. And on top of that, within the Arbitrum gaming narrative, also potentially the Poly narrative. And, you know, they'll launch more about this in the future, talking about exactly where they're going to be launched. But I know Arbitrum for sure. Sparta Dex is going to be more or less the DeFi kingdoms, the go-to DEX within the Arbitrum gamified narrative. Really looking at this as an early alpha. This is definitely early alpha. They just came out of stealth on their Twitter, and they are building a DEX on Arbitrum in the gaming ecosystem. So this is one I'm definitely keeping my eyes on. So that kind of leads us into the alpha that we were talking about. And we have one more token to cover before we get into some alpha on games you can play, stuff that's around the corner, and then also some alpha on launching tokens and some launching NFTs. So let's dive into it. The last token I want to talk about today is PYR, because if PYR goes under $2.80, I think that's a pretty good range to be able to get a long-term accumulation. And I know a lot of people are going to say Vulcan Forged games aren't the best looking. What do they have going for them? Here's what they have going for them. Let's look at the entire ecosystem. They have the NFT marketplace. They have the NFT minting engine. They have the smart contracts for the NFT development. They have NFT and token staking. They have the Elysium swap. They have the layer 1 blockchain for metaverses and games, API development, mobile and cloud wallets, chain bridges from Ethereum, Polygon, Binance Chain, and Polygon, the Elysium scan, the Elysium launchpad, the gaming SDKs, everything under one roof with Vulcan Forged. So 280 is my target there for longer term accumulation. Let's talk about things you should be doing potentially this weekend. You have nothing to do this week. You want to go play some games, maybe earn some tokens. Undead Blocks is the spot to do that at this moment in time. You can go in there. There's been 15 million zombies killed. There's been 7.8K weekly players. And as you see here, there's been 330,000 Z boxes collected, which is how you play to earn inside of Undead Blocks. So definitely check out Undead Blocks. Really, really hot at this moment in time. And another one that's heating up with Dr. Disrespect tweeting everything about NFT gaming, which is so bullish. Next week, Snapshot 5 for Dead Drop. This is going to be awesome because we go into the tower. So we go into the tower and we actually get to see what we're going to be extracting out of in the Disrespect's first-person shooter experience. So I'm really, really excited for that. What's some other stuff that you could be looking forward to? Maybe you're not, maybe you want a game that's out right now, something you can hop into, and you just want an outer space experience, third-person shooter experience, not a first-person shooter experience. Then I would recommend hopping into Star Heroes. A lot of people really enjoying the gameplay there. I would it's a third-person shooter with elements of stuff like Phantom Galaxies, but I would say it's just a little more like tuned up on the shooter side of things. But Phantom Galaxies and Star Heroes, very comparable in my opinion. Really good AAA experience you can hop into on the Game Swift launcher this weekend. And then last but not least, our sponsor, Sidus Heroes. They released recently a roadmap of everything that they have building out this year. You can hop into their mobile app this weekend. You can also play the browser experience on multiple different maps with tons of different characters. So if you haven't checked out Sidus Heroes, our sponsor, check them out down below if you want to know more about Sidus Heroes. And then let's get into some investment alpha. So this week, we have some big stuff unfolding in the free mint world. So the free mint world, we have Shrapnel with a free mint that's going to be across Avalanche and Polygon. So as we see here, buckle up. They're teaming up with Magic Eden to launch the new hottest gaming collectible for free. Now, I do think these are going to pop off. So keep your eyes on this. I would enter every raffle you can to try to get on the whitelist for this, because I think that the free mint for Shrapnel here will definitely do really, really well if you can get your hands on it. And then another big thing coming out of the crypto gaming space, just yesterday, I believe this was, as we see Myria Game Studio with, I believe, 50 plus games now coming to their platform. We've had Myria. Myria used to sponsor the show here. Myria is coming out with their token, the $Myria token. So we'll see how this unfolds. When they exactly launch this is going to be questionable too, because we have to see when this comes out. But keep your eye on the Myria launch and exactly how that unfolds. And then let's go ahead and talk about a little bit of speculation to end off the weekend, because the biggest brands are already coming over to Web3 gaming, and Wolves DAO, who really picks up on stuff very well. They're like a DAO, an alpha group inside of Web3 gaming. Pokemon is breaking into Web3, confirmed by 2 sources. As we see here, there's corporate development principles. If we can pull this up, you can see that they're going to be working on understanding of Web3, including blockchain technologies, NFTs, and metaverse. Makes you question. The biggest brands are already coming. And I think Pokemon's IP is a good fit for NFTs and digital collectibles. I think it's a no-brainer, and I think that that is definite alpha. So guys, like the video if you enjoyed the video. If you're bullish on any of the tokens and the ecosystems we discussed in the video today, let me know your thoughts down below on your favorite crypto gaming projects, your favorite narratives moving in throughout this bear market. What are you looking to accumulate? And what are your thoughts on this drawdown and on this bear market from 25,000 back down to under 20,000. That rally didn't last long, and we are now looking at, I think, pain for the foreseeable future. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'll see you guys on Monday. As always, play well, my friends.